Well, today, I don't know if anybody else has had a problem like this. It's on a 1-ton Ford, and the universal caps were loose and floating around. This is a brand new yoke that was put on here, and the customer says it had a vibration. So when they brought it here, we checked it all out, and we found that the caps were actually floating inside the cavity. Had this style of clamp on here, the half rounds, and we could hold it right tight and bolt it in and still move them. So if anybody has a loose universal joint in a yoke, I've had this happen over the years, usually on a bigger truck, heavy duty stuff. But what I do is, and this is going to be noisy, what I do is I take a good, I like these new style stones. I take a good stone and hold it level as you can. Do all four that way, and you keep measuring it by putting your cap in. I've only got so many hands here. You put your cap in place, and then you take a feeler gauge. And I'm holding against the center of the clamp, and you can see how it rocks. Alright, if I hold the center and hold my other finger against the back, I know I can't do this and hold the camera at the same time, can I? Let's see how clever I am. Okay, so then you take your feeler gauge and it's going to go in here, in between this gap. I'm working on 60 thousandths. When I get done, that's what I'm going to recommend on this one, 60 thousandths. Drop it a little bit here. So like I said, you're using a rough cut on the die grinder. And then to be sure you get a good level surface, take a good straight file. This is a dual purpose file. It's half moon on one side and let's fix my video here. I'll have to let it blending on the video because it's pretty hard. I end up goofing up part of it, but anyways, let's back to the file part. You want to take a good straight file and hold it nice and level and go across both just like that. You don't need to worry about this way, but you definitely need to worry about this way. You file that. File it a few times, get close, and then I don't need to shorten the video. I'm not talking to amateurs here. All I need to do is spray a little bit of paint on each one of these, let it dry a little bit, and then file it until the paint is completely gone. But hold it nice and straight and file it until the paint is completely gone. I'll have a nice straight level, and then that'll give me the tension I need. You always want to put a new strap kit, but every time you put one in, a universal joint, a yoke, a strap kit, anything, you want to make sure that especially on these here, these half rounds will do that. You'll have to file them down and make them tight enough so that they'll clamp that cap in tight. Now I'm going to get that finished up, and then I'll show what I have to do for the final step, because I've already measured how much wear I have side to side. I have approximately 12 thousandths of movement. So I made a 6 thousandths shim, and I'm going to try to take a little video of that. So stop this for now. Okay, we're going to try this now. We've already cut this down equally. So we took 60 thousandths off each one. That's going to allow me 30 thousandths of crush on each side of the cap. The final thing to do is to center the cap in the yoke. And the best way to do, this is a new yoke. It really hasn't got any out of shape wear. It's exactly the same. I did my dial indicator to make sure. So I have an old set of feeler gauges that I've taken pieces off over the years, doing similar stuff like this, and I've got this little piece that I've got connected to my vice grip. This is 6 thousandths. So my overall slack that I have here measured out to 12 thousandths of an inch. So I take my 6 thousandths shim and put it in between the cap and the stop, and you can see that limits the movement to 50% of what it had. Now, I don't know if that vice grip will stay or if it'll fall off, but I have to tighten this up. I'm holding the drive shaft in with my other hand, with my hand, so that the other side can be. I need to clamp this in place so it stays still. And I'll leave that right in there. I'm going to rotate this around so that I can have gravity help me a little bit here. Pushing this in, making a video, pushing this in.
I didn't get one.
All right, so I'm going to tighten up this side. I got a couple of my guys here want to be stars in the video. All right, that's tight there. And then we tighten this one. So now my shim just fell out. Actually it broke, but that's okay. It's only for a temporary tool. If you go around, I can either leave this shim in here or I can pop it out. It don't matter. She's not going to go anywhere. Okay. I'm going to have to get a screwdriver. No, there she goes. Okay, so now the final thing you want to do, I just got for speed, I got a couple different wrenches. We're going to have just a quick snap with the wrist. Then I'll go find out what the actual torque spec is this supposed to be on this. Now, there is no movement on this thing anywhere, no shucking. This will be as straight as a human can get it, and it should take care of the vibration. Any questions? You can send me a message on the site. Thank you. Bye.